Okay, so Nicola, the second unscripted. We had Oggy last time, we've got you this time. It's hard to explain to anyone, but if you don't know AFC Stockport, you wouldn't know. But if you do know AFC Stockport, everybody knows Nicola. There's one team you haven't managed at AFC Stockport. There's 11 teams so far. Which one is it?
I haven't managed the Vets.
The Vets,
yet.
yes.
I'm going to say yet.
Yet.
Because I know what will happen.
I shan't install. I've had enough.
Yep.
That Romans doing my not in.
I'll find a way of getting rid of him, do one game, get somebody else in, and then keep that claim of every club, keep it going.
So I had a look at your stats before, and it is unscripted. I think you'll agree. I've not asked you for anything other than your all-time 11.
Yep.
There's no bullet points, nothing here. It's just me and you having a chat. I mean, we'll tone it down a bit because some of the stuff we chat about we probably won't be able to broadcast. But I asked you today how many games you think you'd managed overall for all teams, all formats, and you said
250.
250. Are you ready?
Go on.
So I've kept this away from you, haven't I? You haven't got a clue about this at all. So Nicola, you've managed 391 games. You were 9 games off 400 games managed. That's not played.
Yeah.
So that's managed. Out of 391 games, you've won 158.
Yep.
Drawn 45 and lost 188. So you've lost just more than you've won. Which, when you think about the first probably 6 years of managing, where you probably lost 90% of your games.
Lost every game barring one, and that one kept us up.
To where you are now. It's amazing where you are.
Yeah.
So the one question I'm going to ask you, see if you can get the answer. I'm not going to look at it because I already know the answer. Which team do you think you've got the best record for in a season? This doesn't include the games where you managed one and you won one game.
No, I get that. In a season.
In one season.
I'll probably say the Sats.
The Warriors.
Warriors last year, Sats this year. Yeah,
you had an amazing season.
Yep.
Absolutely unreal. And your overall stats for the Warriors is a win rate of 65%.
I'll take that.
That's amazing.
I'll take that.
Anything 40% plus is decent.
Yeah.
When you think of all the teams you've played and you've not had the luxury to manage all the best players at the club. You know, we openly joke that you've gone from the 4th to the 3rd to the 2nd to the 1st, and you've worked your way up. You've done it the hard way, but you've done it the AFC way. You've done it like, how can I explain it? You've not spat your dummy out or anything like that. You've cracked on with it. So you're currently in charge of the first team, which I know you wanted for a few years. Do you remember the conversation when I said about you're going to be? I wanted you to be in charge of the first team. Do you remember that conversation? Do you remember where it was?
I remember where I was.
Where was you?
I was at 5-a-side at Hardwick.
We were.
Oh, we were. Oh, yeah, we were.
I was the one having the conversation.
I was thinking, was it on the phone? But no, we was there.
And the ultimatum I gave you was,
I either do it there and then, or I don't do it at all.
Yeah. So I said to you, if you can do it there and then, but if you don't and you wait till the end of the season, which you wanted to do, because you wanted to see the season out with the reserves at the time, and I said to you, do it either now, but if I get someone else in to do it and they do a good job,
they keep it.
Then they keep it.
Yeah.
And the next day you phoned me up and you went, I want to do it. And I know, hand on heart, you were really reluctant because you'd built such a good bond and you'd built the reserves into a team which were challenging the firsts, and it was an absolute quality outfit.
It was a hard decision to make, and usually when you ring me and say, oh, speak to me, oh, I need this team doing, it's like, yeah, no problem. That's the only team I've ever sort of sat there and gone, I need to let you know. That was the only decision where it was a hard decision, but the right decision.
Best decision?
For me, yeah, 100%.
Which has been your favourite team that you've managed?
Probably the reserves. I mean, I know I'm with the first team.
In which era? The Adam Wilcox era, Anthony Royal era?
Yeah, the first year with Anthony Royal. And just the records that he did that first year, and it was just a good team. It was good people. There was no arguments. Everybody got on with everybody. And it was just, that for me. I still have the picture at home of the squad on my fridge. Like that'll always be.
Is it a signed one?
No, it's not signed. I've got that one from the first team when I did a bit. But no, that reserve team with Caddy in there and Rob Wakefield and Mark Brayshaw, them people like. That was always a good year.
Have you seen Brayshaw now? He's a beast.
He's a beast.
He's an absolute beast. Well done, Mark Brayshaw. So we're going to go into your all-time 11 in a bit,
Yep.
and we won't chat about everybody. We'll chat about a little bit, but I just want to go into your playing as well. You played over 200 games as well, so not only have you managed nearly 400, you've played over 200, scored 21 goals, 31 assists, 4 yellow cards. How you're only on 4 yellow cards, I don't know.
Because I get friendly with the refs.
No red cards, and player of the match 7 times as well.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
If you think the amount of times you played in goal,
Yep.
or you've helped out the back, I mean, I remember when I was in charge of the Lionesses, I remember you were pretty much on the bench, and I remember you saying to me, as long as I can come on and do something, I'm happy.
I'm not bothered.
And that all stemmed from after the knee injury.
Yep.
Tell us what happened with the knee injury.
It was against Wythenshawe, at Wythenshawe. The girl just dropped her shoulder, my studs got caught in it, snapped my ACL medial there and then. About 3 minutes till half time, and I couldn't walk. The ref picked me up and took me over to the side of the pitch, which I'll never forget. Went into hospital, they did an x-ray, they thought I'd broke my kneecap, because I've got when you're a baby, your kneecaps don't form. So that's why they thought I'd done my kneecap in, but it turned out I'd done my ACL and my medial. It's like the worst injury I've ever had. So,
was you surprised you came back and played?
yes.
Julie wouldn't have let you.
She still doesn't let me, don't tell her. I was surprised to come back because obviously my age, I'm not a spring chicken, but it was more of I was let down by the hospital, so it was more of I did my rehab at training. So to sort of, the girls backing you up and the manager's backing you up, where you just do your little bit of training on your own and no one passes you the ball, but you're still trying to do the movement. It was easy for me to then say, do you know what, I actually still do miss this, and then do it. So, but yeah, I enjoyed it.
And you've been at the club now for years, haven't you?
Yeah.
Absolute years.
12 years.
Yeah, you're part of the cement and everything now. What I was going to say was that one of the big things in your life is Julie.
Yep.
You know, we all love Julie. But you proposed to her at an AFC Stockport presentation night.
That nobody else has done.
No.
And nobody else, if they did it now, would have the same.
What made you want to do it?
So when we first got together, and obviously AFC will always come first, and she knows this, and she'd always say to me, don't think I'm sitting there watching you play. I've done it with my brother, I'm not doing it anymore. And then she started coming down, then she started taking pictures, then she started doing events, then she started doing committee stuff, then she started doing everything else, and before you knew it, she was getting more involved than I was. So it made sense. I wouldn't have been able to do it anywhere else that wouldn't have made sense to me. So,
but do you not think as well, having Julie's back into what you do? Let's be honest, you know, Julie's quite the strong arm of the relationship, as in
100%.
she guides you as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Your decisions they're not just I will do what I want.
No, I have to ask permission.
Yeah. And so when you proposed to Julie, why presentation night? Just because it was all AFC? I mean,
I think it was just because people that know me know that I do AFC. I do AFC. So to have everybody there to see that moment meant a lot to me. From my team being there to you and everybody else. So it was the right decision.
And I love the fact that you asked me to keep it a secret.
Yeah, exactly.
And just going on that as well with your commitment side of it, it's like I was in the car the other day with T and Sean, and it was about 9:30, not meeting till 10. It was about 9:30, and you the nets were already up.
Yeah, they take the mick out of me for that.
But you were still walking down there, and I turned around to Toby, and you can ask him, I turned around to Toby and I went, no matter what anybody thinks about Nick, from whatever level at the club, whether a first team or a reserve team, third team, whatever, no one can ever doubt her commitment.
No.
And both of them said, absolutely. The fact that you're there that early, what drives you seriously? Every morning, I mean, I've been there myself. I'm lucky now that I'm taking a step back, but every morning, getting up, putting the nets up.
See, it's mad because that excitement doesn't go. That excitement of, it's game day. And you sit and you wait. It's daft. You sit and wait for big bosses. Lee, good luck, everybody. You sit and wait for it. And if you've not done it, I'm going, all right, we're not having a good luck today. And then I get up and I'm sat there and I'm ready. And then Julie will go, just go because I know that you're running. It's like 8:30 and it's crazy because it's about 8:30 in the morning and I'll be like, Right, and even Pooley's because I pick Pooley up in the morning, even he's getting like, oh, get someone else to pick me up. It's like, poor guy's just finished work 10 minutes ago and I'm picking him up and it's like 3 hours until kick-off, but it's just my time, put the nets up, get the kit out, just relax and then think about the game, what I'm going to prepare for the game and go into it, and that's not changed. Like I say it to the boys all the time, oh, you annoy me, I put the nets up. I don't think I could wait for them to put the nets up. I think it'd throw my routine.
And I think some people who've been there longer appreciate it.
Yeah.
I think some people that aren't there don't appreciate as much of the things that you actually do for the club.
Yeah.
Your standards, you know how I feel about them.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. I love trying to catch you out.
Everybody does now.
But when you have a high level, that's what everybody always wants to knock somebody down.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
Even in football terms, like when Man United win everything, everybody wants them to lose. When City win everything, now obviously what's going on now,
they are going to lose everything.
So I appreciate as a chairman, as a friend, someone you confide in quite a bit. Obviously, we speak quite a lot about the football and stuff. I love the fact that you still ask me for guidance
100%.
And things like that as well. So what I'm going to go into now is we're going to go into your all-time 11.
Okay.
So I asked you for your all-time 11. I'm going to speak about a couple of the players. And this was just your opinion.
Yep.
No one else's input. First of all, you've played with all the teams, so you've got an abundance of players. So we're just going to speak through a few of them. Obviously, Oggie's a Hall of Famer like yourself.
Yep.
Tell me a bit about Oggie and why he's in your starting 11.
I think for me, Oggie's Mr. Reliable. You know what you're going to get. You're not going to get an average game. You know you're going to get above and beyond. You know you're going to get 110%. You know you're going to get that leadership. So for me, to not have him in the team and the games that he's not there through injury, because he's been an absolute nightmare this season with injury, you can tell.
You can tell when he's not there.
You can tell.
100%.
And that's not a dig at anybody else, because, the guys have been doing really well. It's just, you need that leadership from keeper, defence onwards. You need that leadership, and you don't have to have a captain's armband to be a leader, and he's one of them for me.
And if we go to the other side of it, the strikers, you pick Rick Williams and you pick Anthony Royal.
Yep.
Obviously, Rick Williams you didn't really manage, and that's just through what you're seeing. But what about Anthony Royal? Tell us a little about
Anthony Royal for me. He's just, for somebody who, and he's not he don't chase the ball down. He don't press. He's your box player. He's your Berbatov kind of player. So he's quite a lazy player, but he knows where the back of the net is. And that first season he come down when he was with Dan and didn't get into the first team, and he come to me, and to score over 50 goals in your first season, which was something that Rick Williams had only done, and to see him do it in the league that we was in with ease, to be fair to him and credit where credit's due, was just, I've never seen a striker like him. You see it in the Prem where they're just walking about, but for him, he knew where the back of the net was, so it was just mint that he never made your team.
and he loved scoring goals, didn't he?
100%.
Absolutely loved it. So we'll go to your midfield, because you've got two of the current first teamers in it.
Yep.
Shawnee Boy and Big T.
Little T.
Little T. Tell us a little bit about the new generation.
Sean, for me, he come down with one of his other mates, and we've just hit it off. He is a friend of mine, but he's such a versatile player that I don't see any other left midfielder, which he plays predominantly for me, better than him. He's just incredible. His feet and everything. His determination to win everything. He's up and down. He's just overall a great player, and who's only going to get better and better. He's only young, and the better the first team become will help him out. He'll get a lot better. It's the same with Toby. Toby's played for me when he shouldn't have played for me when he was 14, and to see that and how he is now.
He was 12.
Was he 12? Well, there you go then, he was 12. To play in a friendly for me when he was 12 and scoring, to seeing the changes. And I remember having a conversation with an ex-player. Recently this season, he'd say to me, like, who's your best player on your first team? And I'd say to him, it's Toby, hands down, it's Toby. And he'd played with Toby years ago. And it was just like, really? And I was like, yeah, really. Because it's just night and day from when he was, I'm going to say when he's young, because he's young now.
When he first started in the firsts as well.
Yeah, you know, and then he went down to Rangers and got that confidence. And then even from last season to this season, there's a massive difference. And that's obviously sort of like his outside of AFC that he's doing. So
he's growing up, isn't he?
Yeah, which is weird.
And someone else I want to pick on quickly before we go into some questions and stuff. For me, one of the all-time best players at the club, absolutely unreal. And he was unfortunate with an injury, and then you brought him back. Daz Eves, centre mid.
Yeah.
What a player!
I can't even.
What a player!
See, I say his name now, and it just brings a smile on your face. And he came back, and I was obviously first team manager, and we played a team, and he got injured, and you know that tackles on TikTok, and people can see he got absolutely wiped out, and never played after that. And it was just
it's such a bad tackle, a needless tackle.
Yeah,
as well.
it was absolutely pointless. I don't know whether he knew who he was or anything like that. It was just an absolute pointless tackle. He never kicked a ball after that, and it's a shame because I just sit and I look at that team that I've got, and I just think, if I had Daz Eves in there now,
Be in the vets now.
he wouldn't. Tell her she's not having him. But yeah, if I had Daz Eves in that with with your Luke Cobbs, your Tobys, your Steves, your Josh, like you look at that and you think the games that we're drawing we would win because people will go, we've got Daz Eves, and that's the impact that he has.
Daz Eves for me was one of them people where he won your games.
100%.
He just won. Obviously you got your full team, but he won your game. He would score goals that other people wouldn't score. I mean, one of the best headers I can remember it now. Corner coming in, he's running away from goal about 12, 14 yards out, bang with his head, the ball's in the top corner. You're just like, how has he got that? Absolutely phenomenal. But what a legend!
Yeah,
what a legend Daz is.
Gutted with that game. But yeah, talented, very, very talented.
Right, well, we asked a few people if they wanted to ask you any questions on Instagram.
Yep.
Okay, we'll just pick a couple because obviously we only get the 20-minute slot.
Yep.
Once the buzzer goes, we're done. So, first of all, Liam Jones.
Yep.
You've never played for, plays for Warriors. In your opinion, what are the greatest strengths you need to be a successful football manager?
The greatest strengths you've got to have is having a backbone, knowing that you've got to make decisions that are not necessarily the right ones, but are right at the time. And I've had to make decisions, whether it's getting rid of players or bringing players back, going to the first team, not staying with the reserves. It's all about sort of saying, I've made a friend. If they're not, if I'm not their manager, they'll still be my friend. And if we're not, we were never friends. So, the biggest one is having that backbone and making that decision and sticking with it. Okay.
We'll go on to Ash Artinstall, loving a bit of Insta.
He's everywhere,
he loves it. If you could have any Premier League player to add to your squad very quickly, who would it be?
Vidic.
Okay. You need a centre back.
Need a centre back.
Of
if
his
he's out there
ankles.
now, if you're watching, give us a shout. I think for me, the heart of the team. As much as I need a goalkeeper, Vidic. If I could have any player, I would have him.
Brill. Well, I know we're coming up to the end, so we'll try and get one more in very, very quickly. Callum Taylor from the Rangers.
My new best mate.
Your new best mate. Can Alex Lamb, the Rangers manager, can he be your apprentice? Feels like he could learn a lot from you.
Yeah, 100%.
Take him on board.
Listen to that first question I was giving Alex and get a backbone.
Yeah, come on, Alex, sort yourself out. Nick, you've been amazing, and like you said, there's only the vets that you haven't managed.
Yeah.
From day one, you've jumped on board. You've done the best you could with probably teams which weren't great, had poor players in.
Yep.
But the proof of the pudding is if you stick around and you crack on and you work hard, you get what you deserve. and your first team record, I'll tell you anyway, your first team record, you played 69, won 34, you're on nearly a 50% win rate with your first, which is amazing. Nick, it's been a pleasure. You absolute legend and Hall of Famer. Turn that off because that's going to be beeping through my mic. Absolute legend, Hall of Famer. Thank you very much.
Can I go to bed now?